Hello, all of my beautiful friends. Welcome. I'm so excited to have you guys with me for another pick a card. For all of you who are new here, my name is Odessa. I'm the Mystic Intuitive Healer, and I deliver messages through the cards that help you to awaken, heal, align, and grow. So today's reading is a subscriber request. I'm really excited to dive into the cards and fill you in on who your soulmate is. So when I say soulmate, I am going to be giving you information so that you can identify your long-term love partner. So some of you might be looking for your future husband. Some of you might be looking for your future wife. Others of you are not looking for a traditional relationship. This will be the person that you're going to build a solid foundation with, regardless of how that plays out for you. So I'll be covering all kinds of information about their physical characteristics, what their job is, how they make you feel, some of the challenges in the relationship, how you're likely to meet them, or potentially reveal that you already have met them. This might actually be the person you're currently with, and then I'm going to provide you with some final advice. So I just want to point out that this is a general reading, so if some of the messages don't resonate for you, that's totally normal. There's a lot of people that watch these readings. So just take what resonates and leave the rest. If you are looking for a more detailed reading, you can always reach out to me through my website because I do offer personal readings, and that's the very best way to find out information that's specifically for you and reflects your life circumstances. And if you have any questions at all, you can email me through my site, or you can comment on this video in the comments section, and I would be happy to answer any of the questions that you have. So you've got 3 piles to select from. I encourage you to just allow your intuition to guide you towards your pile. Pile number 1 has the white daisies. I think that this might be chamomile, and the white feather. Pile number 2 has the amethyst point and the pale purple flower. Pile number 3 has the purple candle and the more vibrant purple flower. So I'm going to give you a moment to meditate and select your pile, and I will see you at your reading. Hi, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. So before we get into the cards, I just want to give you a little bit of insight into what you can expect in this reading. So the reading is designed to help you identify who your soulmate is. This might be someone you haven't met yet. This might be someone who is already in your life, and this is going to give you that extra confirmation that this is the right person for you. This could be someone that you're planning on marrying, you're looking for your future husband, you're looking for your future wife, but it doesn't have to be someone that you intend on marrying. This is your life partner. This is the person that you're going to be building a life with and having a solid foundation rooted in romantic love. And if that leads to marriage for you, great. If it doesn't, that's okay too. Know that this is a general reading, so not all of the messages are going to resonate for you. Whatever doesn't fit, just leave that behind. If the entire pile doesn't seem to fit for you, that's okay. Go back to the pick a pile section. There's a timestamp where you can just see the 3 piles and you can select a different pile. And if any of you are interested in having a personalized reading done, go to my website, odessamall.com, and you can book a session with me, or you could select one of my other services that are all under the umbrella of the metaphysical and spiritual, and I can provide you with more information about what's going to be occurring in your life. So in today's reading, I am going to be revealing to you sort of the key characteristics of your soulmate. I'm also going to be giving you some insight into what they might look like, what their job is, how they make you feel while you're in this relationship, as well as any of the challenges that the two of you might face together. And I'm also going to reveal how you will meet them to the best of my ability. And this might also reveal that you've already met this person. And then, of course, I'm going to give you final advice, things that your spirit guides would like you to know that will help you to find this person or solidify the relationship. So you selected the chamomile. I believe that that's what this is. And, or it could be just a white daisy, but I'm pretty sure this is chamomile. And, oh, wait a minute. Actually, I don't think it's chamomile. This might be echinacea. But regardless, when I look at this, it really makes me think of soothing energy. It makes me think of healing, and yellow and white daisies are a sign of friendship and joy. So this person is going to bring those qualities into your life. If someone knows exactly what this plant is, I picked this from my neighbor's garden. That's why I don't know. I would love to know. So you can put that in the comments. And then you also selected the white feather. So I feel like this person is going to seem like an angel to you. This also makes me think of healing. Angelic energy is very spiritual. You might have an instantaneous bond with this person. And I do really feel like this person is going to heal some wounds within you. And it's likely the reverse. You're likely also going to be healing wounds within them. And it's going to be a transformational relationship, but in such a purifying, loving, soothing way. So let's get into these cards and find out about the key characteristics. So first, in Rama, where are you being called to journey to? So this person might be well-traveled. They might have a keen interest in learning about other cultures. They might actually be from a different culture. They might actually be living in another country, and the two of you meet when you're on vacation, or you meet online, or you meet through like acquaintances, family, friends. There's this sense of the two of you journeying together. Oh my God. And then you got travel. So this is a major aspect of this person's life. They love to travel. They love to experience new things. This might be a person who has actually traveled quite a bit over the course of their life, sort of looking for their path, looking for the right doorway that's going to open up to them. Maybe they've been in a number of different career fields. Maybe they've had to move because of their job. They are potentially in the military, and they've been moved from military base to military base, or they have a lot of travel that's connected to their job. So maybe they are a district manager and they had to go to all of these different locations. There's this sense of them having this sort of wandering spirit. And in the past, this might have led them to sort of not settle down. But when you meet them, I feel like they're going to know that this is where I want to sort of unpack. This is where I want to lay down roots. Strength. This is a very strong person. This is a person who likely feels very soothing to you. Like I've said before, they're very healing. They likely love animals, and they might even have a pet. They have a cat, they have a dog. They might even have a pet that's very unconventional. For some reason, reptiles are coming forward, yet there are no reptiles in this card, but that's really strongly coming forward. They might actually have some sort of interest in a particular type of insect or a particular type of animal, and they might post about this stuff online, or they might just share a lot of like cute things with you. They also have a strong sense of self and a knowing of their own weaknesses. The Strength card in tarot is talking about being able to control our emotions, being able to regulate ourselves. So that when we're in a situation where we feel like we are threatened, we're fearful, we're anxious, we don't allow that to dictate how we're going to externally react to things. We keep it together. And this is going to be a key characteristic of your partner and something that it's going to be very healing for you. You might have been in a family dynamic or even past relationships where there was a lot of extreme highs and lows. You might even have to get used to being able to share your thoughts and feelings and know that you're safe. And I think this is going to be another aspect of your dynamic that really transforms you. The Hierophant, it says the Host, card number 5. So this is a person who likely has higher education. They might have gone to graduate school, or they have had to go through a series of maybe internships, or maybe they've worked as an apprentice under different people. There's this sense of them knowing the benefits of a formal education or formal structure. They might be very successful within their career and they're in a high position. They're a manager, or it's possible that for some of you, you might be with someone who eventually becomes a CEO or is a CEO. They might also have some sort of spiritual background where they are part of a formal religion, or they grew up within a church, or their parent is like a pastor. They might be involved in church themselves. They're volunteering, or there's some connection there. They might be very spiritual as well. But the sense that I get is that it's still in sort of a linear, logical way. I don't think that they're necessarily spiritual like the way that I would consider myself being spiritual. It's not necessarily esoteric and metaphysical. It's more like being part of like an organized traditional church, and they respect that, and they see merit in that. There's this sense of it really being healing to them. Then we've got the 9 of Roses, meeting the parents. They have a good relationship with their parent. It doesn't necessarily mean that they always did. There is something about there being healing, because the 9 of Roses is the 9 of Wands, which is talking about the wounded warrior. So this might be a situation where they grew up in a single parent family and they saw their parents struggle, and now they have a different concept of partnership and love, and they really want to provide that stability that maybe their parents struggled with, or they had like a relationship that was sort of challenging with their parent as they were growing, and they've resolved that. It feels to me like I am just going to make peace with my parent, even if they're not perfect. I recognize that they tried the best they could, and for me, it's more important to have a relationship with them than to be right. There's this sense that they've overcome any of the like pain that they had from the past, and now they are cultivating a new relationship with their parent. For some of them, they've always been really close with their parent. They are really excited to introduce you to their parents and possibly their siblings or other people that they consider family, maybe chosen family. But I feel like that will be a big aspect of your relationship, spending time either with their family or possibly with both families. The Hound, loyalty, chains, and promises. This is an individual who is going to be fiercely loyal. They keep their promises. This is sort of ride or die energy, but in the most healthy, positive way. This isn't no matter what, I'm going to stay with you even if you treat me badly, but they might have come to that because they've had challenging relationships. I do get this sense that they've also learned a lot about what they want in terms of stability, because this card is coming out right underneath this journey, this like sense of like having wanderlust, and maybe they've been in a lot of different relationships and now they know what feels healthy for them. They have passion for that kind of like stability and that kind of loyalty, and they're going to go after it. Fall into my arms. This is fire and this is fire. So they might be a fire sign. It says, fall into my arms, surrender, holding the opposites, extremes of life. And it's coming in under travel. So this person likely is finally ready to settle down. They have sort of planted their roots. I think they've already started to stabilize themselves after a period of possibly, really indulging in everything that life has to offer and trying new things. This might also be somebody who was previously married, or their spouse even passed away and they're a widow and they're ready to open up their arms to new love, because there are a lot of sort of ghostly figures around this couple that are in an embrace. This might also be a relationship where you feel sort of divinely guided together. Like there's weird synchronicities, maybe coincidences that connect your family to their family, or just life experiences. Going back to the feather, there's this like sort of angel energy, and maybe you even feel like someone that you knew that's crossed over to the other side has been giving you clues and insight into who this person is, and then you meet them and it's just like an easy surrender, like you just fall into each other's arms. Then we've got fate. Oh my God, yes, that is wild. So that is exactly what I was talking about. Fate is the energy of something being meant to be, and nothing is going to keep it from happening. We have fate and destiny that plays out in our lives, and destiny is an option. It is a high vibrational, beautiful pathway that's available to you if you take action in your own life to move towards it. So it's that energy of co-creating with the universe, whereas fate is something that's going to happen no matter what. But the sense that I get is that where you have free will in this situation is the growth that you've had. Obviously, you're growing because you're watching a pick a card reading, and most people that are watching tarot card readings eventually get to a place where they start to do some of the shadow work and start to work on themselves, because a lot of the messages that come forward are about that kind of healing. And I think that no matter what, you're going to meet this person, or you have already met this person. We'll find out more when I get into the other decks. But the sense that I get is that no matter what, you're going to meet this person. So be ready. Do the work on yourself to be able to emotionally regulate, to be able to sort of make peace and let go some of the restraints from the past, to be prepared to settle down and open your life and your heart up to another person. Stork. Whoa, I love this. This is talking about something very beautiful coming into your life. This can be talking about the birth of a new relationship, even the birth of children. So this person might have a child, or they might have fur babies. They have people, or they have pets that they are responsible for. And I do think that this person has thought about the future. They've thought about having a family. If you have children, there's a really good chance that this person would embrace your children like they were their own flesh and blood. And there will be a really easy transition into this sort of step-parent relationship. But overall, this person is very positive, very high vibrational. The storks can be talking about really knowing what you want and going after it. And I get that energy with this sort of hybrid owl creature because owls, of course, do hunt field mice. This owl is holding a mouse, and they're able to see the small movements of a field mouse in the pitch black. So there's this sense that this person is high vibrational enough. They have illuminated thoughts, right? There is this sort of like glowing halo around the owl as well as behind this goddess. They have illuminated thought processes that have guided them to what they actually need, and it's likely connected to their own understanding of self. So they know that if they're a little bit introverted and they get shy in large social gatherings, being with someone who is supportive, empathetic, and compassionate to their experience, but also maybe a little more extroverted and a little more excited about organizing social interactions with people would be of benefit to them. So if you're a more social person, they would naturally be attracted to you because you possess a core skill that they are still trying to perfect. And it feels like it's very balanced that way with the two storks. Like the two of you sort of see life from the same perspective, but you're bringing different insight with you because, of course, you've had different lived experiences. So let's find out a little bit about what this person might look like. What is pile number one's soulmate looks? What do they look like? What does pile number one's soulmate look like? What does pile number one's soulmate look like? And I'm going to try this deck as well. What does pile number one's soulmate look like? Oh, you got lots of cards here. Okay. So let's start with the first card you received, which is Iris, communication. So this particular card features this beautiful goddess with these piercing eyes. They might have blue, gray, or lavender colored eyes. There's this sense that they communicate a lot through their eyes as well. So you might feel like they have this piercing stare. They might have freckles or red hair, auburn hair. They might also have blonde hair. There's just this strong, like angelic, peaceful energy. So they might also look a lot younger than they actually are. But there's always the possibility that they're 23 years old, or there's some synchronicity with the number 23 and them. So when you meet them, that number might appear on the clock. You might meet them at exactly 2:30, or you are at a restaurant and the address is 23, Main Street. That's really standing out to me. Then Arnold Schwarzenegger. So they likely, I'm going to put that over here. So they likely are very fit. They might not be like a bodybuilder fit, but there is this sense that they take care of their body and they like to eat clean is what's coming forward. You're definitely going to really like their body, and they might actually be involved in some sort of professional sport, or there's something that they did when they were younger and they still have those habits. So if they were playing college basketball, they learned certain things about nutrition and they still implement that into their life. Now they might have brown hair. They might also, there's a sense of knowing how to move their body. So there's something really sexy about the way that they move their body. I mean, that could be behind closed doors. They really know how to use their body. So Bill Gates, this might be a person that wears glasses. This might be a person that is slightly older. You might actually meet this person when you're when you're older. This might be a person who is also very sort of conservative. Each of you are looking for a different person, so just keep in mind that when I'm describing what they look like, you have to just sort of cherry pick what I'm saying, because obviously the person that you're going to be with for the long term isn't going to possess all of these qualities, but I have to just say everything that's coming forward. So they might be sort of like conservative. They might even have like sort of a cute, nerdy look to them. And this is strongly coming forward over and over and over again. They might not be your traditional type. This might be someone who initially you sort of overlook them. Initially, you just think, oh, this person is such a nice person, and I'm not necessarily feeling those sparks, that sort of like fire. And then all of a sudden, something shifts and you're like, whoa, there's something really special going on here. They might have gray hair even. That might even be like a streak where like, they just went prematurely gray and they just have like one patch of gray in their hair. Estee Lauder. So this person might be a blonde. This person might also love makeup and beauty. They really take care of themselves, going back to the Arnold Schwarzenegger card. This might be somebody who, okay, what's coming forward is effortless beauty. This person obviously does take care of themselves. They invest in themselves. They likely, splurge on certain things. Maybe it's certain skincare. Maybe, they have highlights and they're investing in these kinds of things, but there's still this sense that it's sort of effortless. Like, I don't feel like this is a person that's necessarily going overboard with their makeup or their hair or even their fashion to a degree. It's not necessarily like in your face overboard. It feels to me like it's more conservative, more streamlined, more sort of sophisticated is the sense that I'm getting. Charles Ponzi. This person might wear a suit to work, or they, once again, that sort of like traditional, like tailored. That's the sense I'm getting. They might also be wearing a hat when you meet them, because the Bronwyn Forgiveness card has come out and she's got this beautiful headdress, and then Iris also had this headdress on. So it's possible that either they're wearing some sort of hat or a headband. And I mean, this could mean that you meet them at the gym and they're like wearing a headband, or they're running outside and they're wearing a baseball hat. It's not necessarily that they're wearing a hat at all times. There's a lot of dark brown and black hair here as well. So they might also be a person that has really beautiful hair. They're doing something interesting and different with their hair. They've got braids, they've got locks. They could be a person that actually changes their hair a lot. They are experimenting, they grow it long, they cut it off, or they experiment with different wigs and they're able to change up their look a lot with that as well. But there's strong piercing eyes, once again, with Bronwyn coming forward, and still there's this blue gray coloration, and of course, really dark brown is what's coming forward. So it's either like this gray, blue, or really dark brown. Let's find out some information about what their job is. So what does pile number one soulmate do for a living? How do they make money? Give us some clue about how they make money or some aspect of what their work is. Okay. How does pile number one's soulmate make money? Give us some clues. Okay. So let's see. So, interesting. So practice. So they could be a doctor, they could be a lawyer, they could be an accountant, like they could be someone who has their own practice. So that could be any number of jobs. They could be a consultant for a tech company, and they're practicing. I mean, even with this coming out with the Arnold Schwarzenegger, they could be doing something that they've had to practice a lot at. So they're a coach, they are a fitness trainer, but there is something that they've put a lot of work into to gain mastery over. Travel. This person definitely travels for their work. That is 3 cards. This was the travel card, travel, and then in Rama was talking about journeys. So they likely are going to be traveling a lot. This might actually be a small barrier to the two of you while you're building your relationship. They might be away a lot. But I do get the sense that they're going to be really great with communication, and they're really going to make an effort. If you guys live at a distance, they're going to make sure that they're seeing you a couple of times a month. They're going to be flying out to you. Maybe they're going to pay for you to come and visit them. The two of you might equally be traveling, and you find ways to link up. But travel could also be indicating that they're doing something for work that involves different regions or different countries. They're working with overseas manufacturers, or potentially they're a travel agent. They are working even as an anthropologist. They're working on places that they have to travel to. Leadership, they are in a leadership position. They either run a team, or they are seen as a leader within their industry. So it's possible that they're a leading practitioner of whatever their skill is in their area. They're the best doctor, they're the best lawyer, whatever it is. They're seen as being in a position of authority, and it's well earned. Judge. So yeah, many of you are going to be connecting with someone who's in law in some way. They're a legal secretary, they are a judge, they're a lawyer, possibly they're in law enforcement, they're a detective. This could also be somebody who is having to make a lot of decisions within their career. They're weighing out different options. So going back to what I was saying with the practice, maybe there's some sort of consultant, and they're working with people that have various needs, and they're looking at what the needs of the client is, and then what the needs of the business are, and they're helping balance things out that way. There's this sense of fair distribution of power is what the card says here. So they could be working with trade in some way, and they're negotiating contracts, they're negotiating deals. Fool. For some of you, you might be connecting with someone who is an entertainer, and they are traveling because of their work. Maybe they're a comedian, and they're traveling and going from gig to gig. They could also be traveling because they are a script writer. They're doing something within entertainment. They work on movies and sets, and they have to travel a lot. They're a stuntman or something, and they're traveling a lot because of that. Destroyer. It says releasing what is potentially destructive, preparing for new life. So the overall sense I get is, for some of them, they have had many different careers. They've tried many different things, and they have found their way to sort of incorporate all the things that they love and reinvent themselves. When you meet them, it's possible that they're going through one of these transitions, like they have taken a leave of absence from work, or they've been downsized and they're sort of reinventing themselves. It's also possible that that's part of their work, though. They are a lawyer who works on bankruptcy, or they work on divorce settlements, or they are, involved in the sort of the downfall or the destruction of other aspects of people's lives or business. I mean, destroyer could also mean that they work in recycling, or they work in construction and they're like demolishing buildings, or they work in like sanitation and garbage collection. Okay, so now let's find out how they make you feel. This will be once you're actually dating and you're in a relationship with them. How does pile number 1 soulmate make them feel? Okay. So, oh, there's 4 cards here. So the first card is breakthrough. This is a person who's going to be bringing a lot of insight to you. This is someone who's likely going to help you to overcome some of your own pain, trauma, self-limiting beliefs. They might just be giving you a different perspective on things, which can be triggering, but it's always ultimately helpful to us. This might also be someone who helps you to achieve certain goals. They help you to get that breakthrough, like think about something in a new way, and all of a sudden you have like the progress you've been looking for. I also get the sense that this is a person who is really, really intelligent, and they might have strong Mercury placements. We've got Mars and Uranus. They also are a little bit of a rebel, and they're going to keep you on your toes, but in a really healthy way. Oh my God. And then we've got Venus and then Uranus again on this card, foresight, Coca. This person has very balanced masculine, feminine energy. So they know how to take action, but they also know how to receive. They know how to, stand up and speak, but they also know how to listen. This is a person who is going to anticipate a lot of your needs too. I don't think that this is a person that's just going to sit back and be comfortable with you taking care of everything. They're going to want to do things to make your life better. And I think that for some of you, you have trouble sort of standing up for yourself or sharing your feelings. You might have had people really take advantage of that. And this person is going to help you to get more comfortable with that, but they're also going to be able to anticipate when you're uncomfortable. So this is like a situation where just with one look, they're going to be able to tell you want to like leave the party. You're done. Let's go home. And they're going to have, like, before you even say anything, they're already going to have your code ready to go. Palo Santo, guardian. They're going to be protective of you. They're going to help you to feel calm, cool, collected. And we've got the South Node on here. So there's a and Pluto. So there's a possibility that there are things from the past that are still lingering. They still play through your mind. Maybe you've had some really bad things happen to you and you didn't feel safe, possibly in life, but also in relationships. I mean, it could be like, I feel vulnerable getting close to someone, or it could be something like, I don't feel comfortable flying on a plane, and everyone else I've ever been with before has sort of like minimized my fear. And this person is going to be very protective and is going to hold your hand through it. I think you're going to feel too like you are comforted in a way that maybe you never were by your family, but maybe it's also going to remind you to a certain degree the way your grandparents made you feel. Like there's this strong nurturing, and then you also got Rue, protection. So that's really reinforcing that this person is going to have your back. I do think that for many of you, this person is more of the extrovert. This person with like the sun energy, Leo, and then we've also got Pluto. This person is probably more extroverted, more life of the party, more comfortable being in the spotlight and in the center of everything. And they're that's going to be a real benefit to you. Like if you are also like that, they're going to match your energy with the angels. There's strong, this angel energy that keeps coming forward. They are going to nurture and be soft when needed. They're not going to just steamroll you. And if you are the opposite of that, you're more introverted, this person is going to help you to get out of your shell a little bit. So next, we're going to find out the challenges of the relationship. So what are a couple of challenges that pile number 1 is going to experience with their soulmate? What challenges? Oh, that's interesting. Okay. What challenges? Okay, I understand. At first, I was confused because this chemistry card says, I've never felt a passion this intense. And I thought, how could that be a problem? So it's going to be great in the bedroom. That's going to be a beautiful aspect to your relationship. You're going to be very, very happy. But when you're having disagreements, I wish you understood how I feel and holding back, I should have expressed myself better. You might end up butting heads a little bit because I think this person is likely very extroverted, very open with their thoughts and feelings, and you might be a little more introverted, and that kind of energy might be intimidating to you. So the two of you, and it might be the opposite of that, but the two of you are going to have to allow yourselves to hold space for not just the opinions and feelings of the other person, but also the way that you both approach conflict, really seeking resolution, like the ultimate goal always being togetherness. And a lot of that will be sort of resolved. I mean, the conflict you'll have to work through, but any kind of disturbances that could come from your communication style could be resolved by just ultimately always reinforcing that you're not going to abandon each other, that you're in it for the long haul. Because a lot of these kinds of like intense, like high-low arguments can come from this feeling like we're going to be judged and we're going to be abandoned. So I get the sense that this is likely going to be resolved pretty quickly for the two of you. But in the very beginning, when you're still getting to know each other and conflicts start to bubble up, this will likely be one of the big things that you have to sort of tackle. So now I'd like to know if you have already met this person. Has pile number 1 already met their soulmate? Has pile number 1 already met their soulmate? Interesting. Okay, so the cards that have come out are the 4 of Coins, which can be talking about work environments, being in a position of control. This particular individual seems to be overlooking a lot of people around someone who's on a horse, someone who looks like they are very successful. So either you or your future spouse likely knows of you, or vice versa. You might know who this person is, but there's this sense that it might have something to do with either when you were working near or together, or when you were in school, because she's got this book here. There's this sense of, I am controlling my money, I'm looking at my career, and I just know you from afar. It's possible that you only know them from online, but it's also possible that it's your intuition with the Page of Cups. Some of you might be getting like signs and synchronicities that you're going to meet a particular person. Maybe there are certain characteristics that I've mentioned that loads of other readers keep pointing out to you in these kinds of readings. And you kind of know what you're looking for, but you don't know exactly who this person is. But for some of you, you're already married to this person with the King of Coins. This is someone that you've already established roots with. You are already building a life together. Or it's possible that for some of you, this is your boss or someone that you're connected to in a real physical way. Maybe this is like, a friend's brother or something like that, but there is this sense that you're kind of knowing someone, your intuition is giving you some signs, and then there's this awakening or epiphany, and you know that this is the right person. So for those of you who have not met this person, because obviously some of you have in various ways, I'd like to get some information on how pile number 1 might meet their soulmate if this person isn't in their life already. So the cards that are face up are the things that you're most likely to recognize first. So frying pan, trouble, accusations, rose, romance is in the air, gavel, involvement with the law. And there was all of these references to a possible law career. Okay, so some of you might end up being involved in something related to law. This could be like some of you are getting a divorce and you actually end up falling for your divorce lawyer, or you have a ticket and you have to go in to dispute the ticket and you end up meeting your future spouse while you're at the courthouse. There's this sense of like you've been in trouble and you end up having to deal with some legal matter or contracts or something that has to do with fairness and judgment, and you end up meeting them that way. Like romance blossoms, and you're not expecting it at all. Let's see what else you've got. Man, dealings or relationship with a man. So many of you are interested in men. That's an added confirmation. It could also be highlighting what I was talking about before, where this person might have like one streak of gray. They might be older. They might have black hair. They might have dark eyes. Lightning, control your anger or you'll be sorry. Many of you are going to meet this person when you're really upset about something else that's going on. You're not anticipating this. Like you are riding your bike and then somebody accidentally hits you and you are so upset obviously about this situation, and the person that helps pick you up off of the ground is the person that you're going to end up falling in love with and marrying. Like that's sort of an extreme example, but that's kind of the sense that I get. Like you're going to be in distress about something, angry about something, and then you run into the person you're going to marry, and there's a sense of them sort of liking your fieriness. And this could literally be you're on the phone complaining to one of your friends about something that was on your mind, and you literally run into this person. Purse, pay attention to your finances. So either you're out spending money and something goes wrong, like you're at a restaurant and you find a hair in your food and the restaurant, is still going to charge you full price, and like you end up meeting them that way. I don't know. Like there's all this sense of you're spending money or there's money involved. Maybe you lost money. You're upset. There is this feeling like you're trying to get justice for whatever it is. You're angry, and this person either meets you as a result of this or they come to your rescue in some way. They help resolve the problem. It's a meet cute is the sense that I'm getting. Okay, so finally, this is guidance for you from your spirit guides on what you need to do, or what actions you can take to sort of prepare to be with this person. Okay. So So the cards that you received are 1001. This might be another synchronistic number that you see close to when you're going to meet them. It says spiritual awakening, new beginnings, personal development, prioritizing creativity, and healing in the right heading in the right direction. A new phase in a religious or spiritual quest. You're going through a spiritual awakening, which can feel like the dark night of the soul. You're on the path to enlightenment, and this too shall pass. I don't think that you're anticipating meeting this person. I think you're likely going to be in a period of your life where things are not exactly the way you wanted them to. Maybe you just went through a breakup. Maybe you went on a series of horrible dates and you're just not feeling great, or like these other cards are talking about, like you just got into a car accident and now you have to go and, battle the insurance company, and the insurance adjuster that you connect with is going to be your future spouse. But there is this sense of, yes, things might not be as bright and shiny and sunny as you would like them to, but that is just the darkness before the dawn. Drama alert. 1717, independence, soul mission, alone time, learning, healing, aspirations. Take a few deep breaths and focus inward. You need time to think things over and consider your options. At this time, you must rely solely on yourself. You might not believe it, but you're headed in the right direction. What appears to be a lull in activity is just a natural part of the process. Remember the card from before. You got the fate card. That means that you're gonna meet this person no matter what. And that was one of the first pieces of advice that came out in your reading. Make sure you're doing the work to prepare so that you are ready to meet this person. Now, I'm not saying you have to be 100% healed. That's unrealistic. No one's ever going to be 100% healed. You won't even know that you have certain wounds and triggers until you meet this person, right? They're going to bring things out of you that you're not aware of. But there is this sense of a need to focus on healing, letting go, forgiving yourself for anything that you feel like you didn't do correctly in the past. Don't beat yourself up for choosing the wrong people or not having it all together at earlier times in your life. Definitely don't think to yourself, I'm going to be alone forever and I'm never going to meet the right person and it's too late for me. You're likely going to feel that way, but that's not the truth, because this is all designed to play out this way. And the person that you're going to meet and connect with and build this life with is going through the same things. And there's definitely going to be some drama right before you meet this person. So that concludes your reading, my friend. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I would love to know everyone's thoughts on this reading. This was a pretty epic one, much longer than I normally do, but it was so fun. And if anyone else has suggestions for future readings, feel free to share. I'm trying to do a reading every other day for you guys, so the more ideas, the better. And I just want to remind you guys that I do personal readings, so you can find out information about that on my website, odessamal.com. And like I said before, if you have questions, just reach out. I'd be happy to answer those for you. So I am sending you guys so much love. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you are watching this, and I look forward to seeing you in the next reading. Take care. Hi, pile number 2, welcome back. So, in case you missed the intro, I'm going to give you a brief description of what you can expect from this reading. So, I'm going to be looking at who your soulmate is. So, this could be your future wife, your future husband. This is mainly just your long-term, stable love partner. So, no matter what you decide to do with your connection, whether you get married or not, that's irrelevant. It's really about the two of you building a life together. So I am going to be discussing a whole bunch of different characteristics that this person has in an attempt to help you identify who this person is. This could potentially be your current partner. And that is going to be one of the questions that I dive into. But I'm going to start with key characteristics. Then I'm going to look at what they look like, what their job is, how you feel with them in the relationship, any challenges the two of you might face together, as well as if you have met them already, if you are not in union with them, how will you meet? And then, of course, I'm going to give you some final guidance. So I just want to mention that this is a general reading, even though I'm going to be covering a ton of information. Not all of it is going to resonate for you. So whatever doesn't fit, just leave that behind. It's likely a message for somebody else. Only take on what feels right for you. If the entire reading feels off, go back to the pick a pile timestamp and select a different pile. If you are interested in having an in-depth love reading, you can go to my website, odessamal.com, and I would be happy to do a personal reading for you where you can find out everything about the person that you're meant to be with. And you can also ask me any questions that you might have by emailing me or leaving me a comment below. All right, so let's get into this. To begin with, you selected this really pale purple flower as well as the amethyst point. So purple is connected to the third eye. Amethyst is known to help increase our psychic, spiritual nature and increase our abilities to tap into our spiritual gifts, including our psychic abilities. So this person might be a spiritual person. They might just have really strong intuition that they use in various ways, or it could be an indication that you are going to know that this person is entering your life before you meet them, or after you meet them, you're just going to kind of know, this is my person. This is the relationship that I've been waiting for. So these are the sort of key characteristics. The first card is forgiveness. So this is a person who knows how to resolve conflict because they're humble and they know how to forgive people. They don't hold grudges. This is a person that's going to seek resolution with you, and it's not going to be a priority for them to be right. They also have a lot of emotional depth, which means that they're going to understand their own motivations much better than possibly people that you've partnered with in the past. They're going to be able to talk about their emotions and feelings and needs, and they're also going to be able to hold space for yours. The contestant, this is the Fool. So this is somebody who may be younger than you. It might be somebody who is starting a new phase of their life. Possibly they're starting a new job, or they are just graduating from school, or they're just going to school, or they've just moved to your area. This could also be an indication that you're meeting this person when you're younger. Now, that could also be an indication that this is something that comes back around, like you know them when you're younger and then you meet them again later on, because this is card 0, and zeros do connect with like cyclical energy, but the Fool traditionally is talking about something fresh and new and exciting. So this person is probably very adventurous. You most likely have never met this person before. They're going to expose you to new things. They might have some connection with automobiles. Maybe they have a really nice car, or they like cars and they know everything about them, or they sold cars in the past, or they are an engineer. There's, various ways that automobiles could factor into who they are, but that's coming forward for some of you. The Orator with the air symbol, communication, confidence. So they're a very confident person, like I was picking up before. They know how to communicate. So this is indicating that they're comfortable being in the spotlight, communicating all kinds of ideas. They probably are an extrovert And oh my God, the eye on the skull glowing. Yeah, this is a person who probably has strong Mercury placements. They could be involved in politics, or they are possibly even involved in theater. There is this sense of Hamlet coming forward with the hand holding the skull. There is this sense that they just are comfortable sharing their thoughts and perspectives. And I think that they've had a lot of success. People respect them. They want to know what they have to think. They have confidence in their decisions. They have confidence in the like the things that they're pointing out in terms of their argument. The crumbling, what are you clinging on to? So this is kind of closely associated with tower energy. This is likely someone who has had to reinvent themselves. They've lost things in the past. So maybe they've gone through a bankruptcy, or their parents divorced, or they went through a divorce, or someone passed away, or they, had a health accident, like they had a heart attack, or they went through a flood or fire and they lost all of their possessions. There's something that they've had to come back from. And not only did they succeed in doing that, but it sort of like opened something up inside them that helped them to grow beyond who they were predating this event. The tower can be very destructive, but it's very transformational. So this person will likely speak to you of this experience. This should be something that they openly share, but I would be wary of hearing stories about this too early on in a relationship. That can be a red flag. I don't know why that's coming forward. So it's possible that some of you are going to meet some tests before you meet the one. That can happen by accident, actually. Like, it's not necessarily a karmic. It's just that the right person is in your energy field and you end up meeting people that are sort of like them but aren't them. And they might be trying to like get past your defenses and sharing certain stories to create this sort of familiarity with you too prematurely. I don't get the sense that this person is going to throw up any red flags for you, though. So if that happens, that would be a sign that it's probably not who I'm discussing, but I'm going to be giving you so much information that you'll probably be able to figure that out on your own. But this person does seem a little impulsive. They might share a whole bunch about themselves, and it might even seem like overshare initially. Joyous, fun. This person really enjoys like the things that are hobbies. They enjoy possibly going out to different events. Like maybe they like amusement parks. Maybe they like going to fairs. They like to celebrate and they like to be around people that they love. They might have children. They might just be strongly connected with their inner child and they like things that other people might consider to be juvenile, but they just feel like that's part of what makes life beautiful, being playful, and they might ignite that in you. Or this might be a situation where you're very similar and the two of you get to be sort of like big kids together. Water your garden, nourishment, body care, tenderness, rest. So this person does have a practice of self-care. This woman is standing in this body of water at the base of a waterfall. This woman is also basking in a pool of water. So they might like to go to a spa. They might, try and spend time around water a lot. Maybe they live near water, or they have a cottage, or they like to canoe or kayak, or they are a swimmer. There's a sense of like water being very nourishing to them. They may also practice like different techniques to sort of calm their nervous system, like meditating or just like floating in a pool. There is a sense that they might be interested in like physical exercise, but that is sort of like restful and rejuvenating. Like they like yoga. They like maybe even long distance running, or there's a sense of like the fitness that they like is sort of connected to a meditative practice. And that doesn't mean that they're literally sitting in meditation. They just like to get into the zone, disconnect from their worries, and just sort of nourish their physical body. And they might need time on their own to sort of recharge. That's sort of the sense that I get. This person might be an empath and they absorb a lot from other people, which would also make sense with the amethyst. Like they might have that awareness. Like they're not an introvert necessarily. They love being around other people, but when they're going to recharge their energy, they need to sort of have peace and solitude. Mothman, fear. So this person might really like horror movies, true crime. They like scary stories. They like things that are maybe a little bit spooky. They like sort of this cryptid mythology. They might like to read scary books, or they're into like heavy metal, or they're into something like they like goth culture. There's something about like the spookier, like they might love Halloween. They might be a little bit witchy. They might also be like a night owl. There's just this sense of the creepier, spookier things do not faze them at all. They kind of like that. But they're not morose or like depressed or negative or anything. It's just like they might love to go to those like haunted houses, like those attractions. Like there's just something about like they just kind of like that stuff. And they might even be like a ghost hunter. They might want to go to haunted buildings, but that won't be for all of you. But they might even just watch those shows, right? Like, or they like listening to podcasts that are scary stories. There's just this strong attraction to that kind of spooky stuff. Then the dog, they're extremely loyal. They might have a dog. They might want to have a dog. They might have had a dog as a child. Maybe you have a dog and your dog just immediately loves them. They are like, they might have golden retriever energy as well. Like they're just so playful and loyal and loving. And they just look at you like you're the best thing that ever happened to them in their entire life. And then there's this side of them that loves all this spooky stuff. Like there's a real contrast. I absolutely love that. Okay, so let's get some more cards. Now I'm going to find out what your future spouse looks like. What does pile number 2's future spouse look like? Can we get some? Oh my God, the Morgan, the goddess of death and magic. What was I saying? Oh my God, that is wild. I love it. Okay, so what does pile number 2's future spouse or long-term partner, their soulmate, look like? What does pile number 2's soulmate, future spouse, long-term partner look like? Okay, so let's start with the Morgan. Once again, this won't be for all of you, but they likely wear a lot of black and they might like the spookier side of life. So they might be sort of witchy in their aesthetic, maybe a little bit gothic. This might not be something that they embody now. This might be something that they embodied when they were younger, and you'll look at pictures of them in high school and they'll be really emo or they're really goth. This might be a persona that only comes out at certain times. Like they're super into Halloween and they spend 6 months working on a costume and they decorate the entire house. Like there's just this strong sense that they are into that shadow realm, but not in a depressed way at all. Like it's very playful. I'm getting like hocus pocus kind of energy. And they might also just have certain aesthetics that are around their home too that are a little like that. Like I'm getting just like the sort of like gothic Victorian type of aesthetic. This might just be like a situation where they have like a big book collection and they love Edgar Allan Poe, or maybe like, I know that this isn't about the way they look, but it feels like it's so connected to them. Like they love playing video games that are horror based. They might also have really dark eyes. Like you just sort of get lost in their eyes. I think that they have like a beautiful mouth. There's this sense of like natural colored lips. Especially if this is a woman, like she might look like she's wearing lipstick, but it's just the natural color of her lips. I'm seeing a chiseled jawline, or a very defined jawline. Beyonce. I get from both of these cards just beautiful skin, really illuminated from within, reinventing themselves quite often, very fashionable person. They might be someone who is very different in aesthetics from you, but something that you can really appreciate. And I get the sense that they do keep up with the trends. This might be a person who, you know, they could go in between the two aesthetics, where they wear a lot of black and then all of a sudden they'll come out and they're in their new season where everything is colored. They are very expressive. They know how to move their body, which you're going to really enjoy in multiple ways. But they might be a dancer as well. Like maybe they do salsa, they dance swing like Lindy Hop, they dance bachata. Could be a person who actually has a career connected to being a celebrity and they're in the public eye, or they're involved in the music industry in some way. Ingvar Kamprad, which is the guy who started IKEA. So this person may actually be a little bit older than you, but that doesn't have to be the case for all of you. This person might wear glasses as well. Zaha Hadid. And this person, it's also, I'm getting this like strong melanated skin that's coming forward. But like dark hair, they might have highlights, they might have streaks of some kind, like, I mean, even natural. Like it might be like just that there's a lot of contrast within their hair. They might have a very prominent nose. They might also have like hooded eyes. They might have like a really soft smile. Like they don't show a lot of teeth when they smile. And then Ishtar, communion, beautiful. Definitely someone who there's a strong sense that their nose is prominent. And I don't necessarily mean that like it's the most prominent feature on their face. Like there's something distinctive about it. They might have an aquiline nose, which means that they might have a little bump on their nose. Or it's just more prominent compared to their other features. Strong, intense eyes, but look, like not the smile, no teeth, no teeth, no teeth, no teeth, no teeth. There's just something about this like sort of mysterious smile. Like you're wondering, what are they really thinking? This person might also have some strong Scorpio placements. That might be why they're a little bit witchy, a little into the occult. And they might be sort of like, you might even feel like they're sort of looking through you at times. And it's all because they're sort of reading you. Like they're trying to figure you out in their mind. Okay, let's get some cards about what this person does for a living. Okay, so what does pile number two's soulmate do for a living? What's their job? What can you tell us about their career? What does pile number two's person do professionally, financially, career-wise? What is their profession? Whoa, okay. What does pile number two's So counselor, they might be a therapist, they might be a coach or a counselor within their company. Maybe they work in HR. They might be working in addictions, mental health. They could be a teacher. Yeah, teacher is strongly coming forward because we've got this study card here as well. Justice. So they could be involved in negotiations, and they're doing some counseling and coaching to create fairness. They may have had to study for a really long period of time to get to their credentials. So this might be a situation where they've had to go back to graduate school. They have a master's, they have a PhD, or there's been something else that they had to get certification in. Let go. This is likely a career that they've had a lot of twists and turns regarding. This might be a situation where they've lost jobs because of downsizing, and then they went back to school to go in another direction. They brought injustice into their own life because maybe they didn't even like the career they were in before. And we've got spiritual teacher. So it feels to me like this person likely has had some sort of career change that was guided by their own intuition. It's possible that they are a spiritual teacher. They work in the metaphysical arts in some way, and they're coaching and guiding people. They're doing seminars or sessions and classes, but it doesn't mean that all of them are going to be related to spirituality. They could be related to a traditional religion as well, or they're working for a nonprofit organization and they're being guided by their sense of duty to the collective, which is what spiritual teachers are most commonly trying to do. They're trying to help. So maybe they're a social worker. There definitely feels to me like they were always wanting to do more for the people of their community. So even if they're not doing social work, it could be a situation where they have a background in business, but they are trying to create more funding for people in their community. That, like, the core is that they had to study, they have a lot of education, they are helping others, and it's potentially a second career for them. Networker enhances unity through the sharing of information, engenders social awareness and empathy. Yeah, they are likely someone like involved in psychology, social work. They are doing humanitarian work. They are working in healthcare, but they might be involved in like the business aspect of this instead of literally doing one-on-one work. But of course, with a lot of this counseling and teaching, they might be a professor or a teacher, but they could actually be working one-on-one with clients. But there's this strong sense of electronics, doing business, marketing, maybe even building websites, working with AI technology. Queen radiates the regal feminine, uses her benevolent authority to protect others. So the divine feminine traditionally is more geared towards intuition and being a caregiver and a guide to others. And it can also be about receptive energies. So they might be a psychologist and they're listening to people talk about their problems, and they're being a wise teacher and guide to them to help them through their troubles. But they could also be in this leadership role where it's still under this umbrella of like the collective and the greater good and healthcare, and they are helping people by leading by example or leading up a team. Fool, fearlessly revealing emotions, helping people laugh at absurdity and hypocrisy. There is a really good chance that this person is a coach, a psychologist, a psychotherapist, they're listening to people's problems and they're helping them to feel better. They're helping them to laugh at the horror potentially. There's this sense of going back to this person sort of liking some of these darker things. Like they've gone through something that was really painful. It shaped them. They're no longer afraid of the darkest aspects of life or the things that go bump in the night or the things that could go wrong in our lives. And they help other people have confidence that they can get through those things too. So, I mean, they could be helping people recover from loss. Like they could be a grief counselor. They could be helping people to get over the loss of jobs or bankruptcies. They're definitely helping people to deal with their emotions. So speaking of dealing with emotions, the next area that we're going to look at is how you feel in a relationship with them as a result of how they treat you. So how does this person make pile number 2 feel? Okay, first of all, you got mandrake sensuality. So there is going to be a lot of sensual chemistry between the two of you. You're really going to feel like they desire you, that you're their ideal. And I think there's going to be so much passion between the two of you. I think that they're going to help you to see past any illusions that you might have regarding, your own body or just like your own desires, because there's Neptune and Venus. So that is connected to beauty, and Neptune can be connected to illusions and not necessarily seeing ourselves accurately. They're going to help you to get over that. Like they're going to think you're the hottest thing they've ever seen in their lives. Dragon's blood. Anime Mundi. This is so nuts. And then we've got the third eye here. So this card means all things must die. So they could be working at, like I was saying, as a grief counselor, or they're working with end of life care. Like they're a death doula, or they are a nurse or a doctor and they have to, or a paramedic. They're working with people that are in the worst situations of their lives or having to let go of people, and they help them to get over that kind of loss. But it looks like they're going to help you to get over some of the things that you've lost. You're going to be healed. You're going to be transformed. Like you're not going to feel like your own pain is a burden. There's this sense that maybe in the past, others have made you feel silly or stupid for still feeling bad about certain things. And this person's going to help you to feel like that's natural. Like it's okay to be grieving. I'm not sure how to pronounce this plant, but the card says revival. Like there's this new sense of self, an awakening, some sort of expansion that's happening for you. Mars energy, as well as Pluto energy and Jupiter. So you're expanding, you're growing, like you're seeing the pathway between the obstacles in your life. The mountains are often talking about us being barred from something. And there's these DNA sequences that are like sort of reaching up to this eagle, which can be talking about seeing things from a higher perspective. So they reveal the truth of certain situations to you, and you can let go of guilt, there's a sense for some of you, you're upset and still grieving the loss of maybe a parent, and you're feeling like, why am I still feeling this way? When am I going to feel better? Maybe some of you have even lost a spouse, or you've lost someone that you were really close to, and other people are thinking, oh, you should be over it by now. This person is going to completely understand. There's this sense of them really being intimate with like the death process and the grieving process. And they're going to help you to overcome, not to forget, to integrate that into you, to know that it's okay to not be completely healed. And slowly over time, you will eventually completely heal. elder, wisdom, this, and Jupiter as well as Pluto again on this card. This is going to be transformational. The fairies on this card, it's going to feel magical to you. They're extremely wise. This person is likely an old soul. And I think that where you've had illusions and you've had blockages and you didn't know how you were going to get to where you needed to go, and everything felt very dark in certain aspects of your life. Maybe there are certain traumas that you've never revealed to anyone, and you feel so comfortable opening up to this person, and the insights that they share with you just give you a whole new perspective on what happened. It's like aha moments. And I get this sense that you probably are going to do the same thing for them. And it's going to completely release you from those ties. Okay, so now I'm going to look at what some of the challenges of your relationship might be. What are some of the challenges that pile number 2 is going to face with their future soulmate, spouse, long-term partner? What are some of the challenges pile number 2 will face with their future soulmate? Okay. Reflection. Being away from you has allowed me to gain clarity. Regret. I wish this never happened. Secrets. I haven't told you everything. Responsibilities. I have to take care of my financial and emotional needs. And daydreaming. I am always longing for you. So one of the things that the two of you might face that will be a challenge is, one, opening up and completely being honest with each other. There's this sense that you might be holding back, they might be holding back, and there's these secrets are actually going to get in the way of the two of you getting closer. It might even impact your, not only your emotional needs, but your financial needs. So this might be a situation where you absolutely hate your job and you're feeling so depressed as a result of it, but you don't want to share that with your spouse because you don't want them to feel like there's this added pressure on them to be the primary breadwinner or to, you know, support you while you go back to school. There's this sense of like the two of you bringing in past hurt or pain or self-limiting beliefs from older relationships. It's like the daydreams. These are those illusions. Maybe this isn't even past relationships. It could be things that you saw other people battling, maybe your parents, maybe even friends, and it could be various things. But there's this sense of it not necessarily being true. It's like this reflection of like what was, and you guys are going to get over this, but you might even have some regrets for not sharing things sooner. Now, there's always the possibility that some bad habits will come forward from the past where you mislead each other or you are secretive about certain things and you'll regret it later on. Possibly doing things that are a little impulsive, dreams that, you know, you just take a risk on. There's a sense of like maybe someone is going to spend money because they really have this dream or this idea or this thing that they really want, and the two of you don't consult each other. It's like, oh, well, they're still sort of acting in a way like they're single. But this is something that I think that the two of you will overcome. But there's a sense of like spending money that should be shared, and it should be a responsible decision between the two of you. And one of you just goes out and spends the money, maybe keeps a secret, and there's regret about it. It could be something that is even more extreme than that, but this, I think, could easily be resolved as long as the two of you are honest with each other about your sort of limitations early on and you have a plan. It's the idea that you're not going to openly talk to each other about everything that could potentially add to this problem or create this problem. But it does seem like with time and reflection, things will be resolved. It's always possible that for some of you, this is a relationship that you've already been in and you separated, and now with reflection, the two of you guys are going to come back together with a deeper understanding of the damage these kinds of secrets or illusions can have, and you're going to come back even stronger. So now I want to find out if you guys have already met before. Has pile number 2 already met their soulmate, their future spouse, long-term partner? Oh, interesting. So the Ace of Cups can be talking about an offer, a brand new relationship. The 5 of Cups can be talking about loss, possibly not realizing what you have. And then the Queen of Coins. So obviously this isn't going to relate to all of you, but going back to what I was just saying, some of you have already been in a relationship with this person. They did something to break your trust, or there was like a loss in some way, and you are going to come back together. You might have actually been married. You might have owned property together, or you worked together. There's this sense of like, I didn't know what I had until it was gone. And now I see how abundant and wonderful and stable this person is. Maybe this is a situation where the two of you had a relationship when you were really young, like when you don't have any clue what it takes to have a long-term partnership. And then later on, like you dated briefly in high school, it was messy. Then you get back together, when you're in graduate school, or when you're in like the workforce, or, possibly even after other relationships break up. There's a sense of like you were together and then you broke up, or it never sort of launched. Like maybe one of you was interested and the other was like, I don't know, I'm distracted with all of this other stuff. Like I just went through a breakup. I can't handle the emotional intimacy that comes along with building a new relationship, even though you're amazing and you're consoling me. And spirit is like, hello, wake up. This is the person. And then with reflection, they're like, oh no, that's my person. What did I do? And they're going to reflect and come back. That's not going to be for all of you, but that's definitely someone's story out there. Okay, so now for all of you who have never met this person, I'm going to give you some idea of how you're going to meet your future spouse, your soulmate, your long-term partner. How is pile number 2 going to meet this soulmate long-term partner? How is pile number 2 going to meet their spouse? Oh my God, marriage. So some of you definitely want to get married, and it's going to happen. Some of you are going to meet at somebody else's wedding or something related to a married couple. It could be they're having a housewarming party, someone's birthday. It could be related to even your parents. It could be related to something that could be sort of like related to marriage. Like you meet at a wedding venue. You're not necessarily there for a wedding, but they hold weddings here, and it's also a restaurant. You're there having dinner with friends. But marriage and that idea of weddings and union is there. I mean, you could even meet at City Hall. People get married at City Hall. Forest. Muddled, unclear thinking. You are going to have no idea that this is your person. You might even be the one that walked away from this person. I mean, there's this sense of like, I didn't know what I had until it was gone. But for those of you, once again, who have never met this person before, you're going to have no idea. Like I get the sense that you're going to be distracted with other things. Caterpillar, things will not always be this way. A change is coming. Yeah. Like this might even be a person that you aren't necessarily like attracted to, or like you think they're really attractive, but there's no romantic spark there, or like there's something that's just not working for you yet. And it's because one or both of you is the caterpillar, and there's going to be a metamorphosis turning into the rainbow. Rainbow, the most difficult part of a situation is over. Rainbows can be talking about an awakening. Maybe it's a spiritual awakening, but maybe it's a glow up. Maybe it's just some other change, like life circumstances change, and you start looking at this person in a different light, and you're like, whoa, this person is grounded and stable and kind and loving, and they know how to communicate, and they're always there for me, and they'd be a great, parent, they'd be a great partner, and they're attractive. And then what you're hung up on is like, you don't like their hair. They have terrible style. And then you realize like, oh, wait a minute, they can get a haircut. I can buy them a new shirt. And then everything transforms. Or you are going through some sort of major shift and change in your own life. And all of a sudden, this person is there in front of you, and you just didn't see them because you were distracted with like a big move that was going on, or someone else in your life was having a crisis. All right, so now let's get that final guidance for you. This is final guidance from your spirit guides on either things that you need to do to meet this person, or things that you need to embrace once you meet them. What advice do you have for pile number 2 about their connection with their soulmate, their long-term partner? What do they need to know, embrace, do? What advice do you have for them related to their soulmate, their long-term partner? Let's see. Okay. 1919. The card is cycles. Karma, warning, judgment, influence, power, cycles, change, rebirth. Karma will be paying you a visit. Release the need to control because you cannot force things. Learn your lessons so that you don't repeat it in the future. Make some space for new experiences. So this person there's a few things that I'm getting from this. Likely the person that is your soulmate, long-term partner is not like anyone you've dated before, and they probably are not your type. And that's why you have this muddled, unclear thinking about them. This could potentially be someone that you had a past connection with and it wasn't pleasant, and you don't know if you want to go back to them. Only take that if that resonates for you. If this person comes back, obviously they're going to be dramatically changed. This isn't like, let's hope for the best. Let's just like roll the dice and hope for the best. You would know that they were completely changed. There wouldn't be any warnings or red flags, but that's the other thing. That there might be sort of like karmic connections that come in that are kind of like the person I'm describing, but there's like glaringly, huge red flags. Like, make sure that you understand that when you get close to meeting the right one, you're at a certain frequency. So other people that have some of those core qualities might just show up in your life. And it doesn't mean that they're the right one. It means that you're supposed to either, work through some final blockage. It's like experiential learning is why we have karmic connections. So it's you experience this, you interact with this person, and if they leave, then be okay with that. It doesn't mean that they were the one. It was like that final clearing is what's coming out, right? Like the muddled, unclear thinking. She's gonna or he's gonna meet the love of their life. We don't want them to still have this old lingering self-limiting belief. So let's send in this other person who she or he is really going to like, but they're not the right person. She can or he can work through this, and then we'll send in the right person. 2002, the void, longing, technology, ambition, genius, forward thinking, stress, and depression. You have more control over your life than you realize. Learn and execute what interests you. Turn things around. It gets better with time. There are plenty of friends to make, so chill out, have fun, and open up. Go outside. Okay, if you are wanting to be in a relationship and you're just at home and you're not going out and connecting with people, you have to shift that. I know this card is definitely telling me you've had bad cycles. You feel like there is nobody out there. All of the options are trash and you don't want to try it anymore. It's likely connected to online dating with this technology. You might actually end up meeting this person online, and like Spirit is saying, you got to get out there and try it at least one more time. But the primary focus is that you have to go and do things that you love, not focusing on finding the partner, right? Because you will meet people that are lower than, your standard if your primary focus is just partnering, because it's kind of like saying, I'm not complete unless I have another person. So you have to sort of show up every day, showing the universe that you feel good on your own. You are complete. You're working through any of the self-limiting beliefs, and you're going to go out and chill and have fun and make friends. Like your life starts now. It's happening right now. It won't change and improve just because you're in a relationship. You have to change your own energy. You have to approach life in a different way for it to be improved. Of course, it makes it easier when you're with another person because that can be a natural catalyst to change. But you should be enjoying all of the beautiful things life has to offer now. And possibly this means going out and taking a class. Like I take dance classes, like social dancing. I do Lindy Hop, which is like swing dancing. If anyone has never seen it, look it up online. It's super fun. But it is a great way to meet new people. I've met so many people, not just like possible romantic partners, but like friends. So go out and try new things, whatever your interests are. It likely is going to connect you to the right person. There's just this sense that you've got to mix it up. You're doing the same thing. And I do get a lot of messages from people where they say, no, I've done all of these things and nothing ever changed. But I need to remind you guys that it is like to manifest and put ourselves into alignment with the right person. We have to also really truly believe that we deserve love and that could exist inside us, right? Like everything starts internally, thoughts, words, actions. So if you're thinking, everyone out there is garbage and they're always going to betray me and they're never going to give back, that's your core belief. I mean, that's been your experience. I'm not questioning that. I believe you. If that's been your experience, that's been your experience. But that doesn't mean that always has to be what you experience. You have to understand that there are plenty of people that are growing and changing and they're entering the dating market. I work with them every single day. It's just a matter of being optimistic and joyful about life. And then you will have that doorway open to you. Because if you're feeling depressed and pessimistic about love, you might have walls up and barriers to that person coming in, even if they're standing right in front of you. And for many of you, this person might be. They might be right there. You might already be in a relationship with this person. But if you're not, they're so close. So try and be optimistic. Listening to sleep affirmations where the affirmation is like telling you beautiful things about your romantic prospects can help shift the neural pathways in your own mind that are sort of pre-programmed to think negatively about your circumstances. And you can find those free on YouTube. So I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. This was such a pleasure. I absolutely loved this topic. I would love to know your thoughts if you want to share them in the comment section. If any of you guys have other suggestions for readings, pop that in the comments as well. And I would love to do a reading for you one-on-one. You can go and book a session with me through my website, odessamall.com. And if you have questions about that, you can email me or pop that in the comments as well. I am sending you so much love, and I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're listening to this, and I look forward to connecting with you again soon. Take care. Hi, pile number 3, welcome back. So I just want to give you a general overview of what you can expect out of this reading. I am going to be revealing to you who your soulmate is. So this is your long-term love partner. It might be someone you decide to get married to. You might have a more unconventional relationship. But ultimately, this is the person you're going to build a solid foundation with. And I'm going to be talking about a lot of different things. I'm going to start by talking about their key characteristics. Then I'll be looking at what they look like, followed by their job. Then I'll talk about how they make you feel in the relationship, any kind of challenges the two of you might face, especially early on. Then I'll reveal if you've already met them, and if you haven't already met them, how are you most likely to meet them? And then I'll finish the reading with some general advice for you related to how you can meet this person, what you need to do to prepare, or anything else that your guides might want you to know. So I just need to point out that this is a general reading, so not all of the messages will resonate for you. This is a really in-depth reading, and there's a lot of people that will likely watch it. So just take what resonates, leave the rest. If the entire pile doesn't feel like it fits, go back to the timestamp that's labeled pick a pile, and you can choose one of the other 2 piles. And if you are interested in knowing more about your specific circumstances, go to my website, odessamall.com, and you can schedule a one-on-one reading with me, and I'll be able to fill you in on exactly who your person is and tell you all of the details of how you're going to meet and what your relationship is going to be like. If you have questions about that, email me through my site, or you can put a comment below and I'd be happy to answer your questions. All right, so let's get into your reading. You selected this beautiful purple flower, as well as the purple candle. So purple is a color that is connected to the third eye. Ultraviolet can be talking about strong spiritual awareness. Candles are talking about this fiery nature, so they could be a fire sign. It's also possible that they're really going to light you up. Possibly it's on a physical level, but it also might be emotional or spiritual. So these are the sort of key characteristics. So Justice is the first card. This is a very fair person. They're always going to want to compromise with you. They're going to want to see things from your perspective and come up with a solution to whatever you two are facing that is equitable to both of you. They have this approach in their general life. They like people to get the rewards that they deserve. They could also work in law or in social justice, or they're working in law enforcement. They might also just have like a strong routine, and they like that sort of stability and balance. To be continued. Oh, that's interesting. Cliffhanger. So, I mean, this could be a strong indication that this is someone that you've met from the past. It doesn't mean that you've had a relationship with them. It just might be someone who's going to be popping back into your life from the past, and you maybe knew them just at a distance. Maybe you just knew of them and you didn't actually have any kind of romantic connection with them. But the cliffhanger is telling me that it feels like for some of you, it might even be a situation where the like the relationship didn't really get off of the ground. Maybe this is a situation where you were interested and then they didn't take the next steps with you. This could be a person who also likes to look at things from another perspective. They're always, like I was saying before with the justice, that they're always trying to see the other person's perspective. The cartographer, a crossroads, exploration. This person might be well-traveled, or they have a lot of varying interests. They might be at a crossroads in their life and they're starting to think about themselves and like the future in a new way. They're finally ready to explore a deeper sense of love. They might be from another country originally, or they're from another city. This might be a person who really allows their own like thoughts to sort of like guide them on their next adventure, or like they're seeking new knowledge. There's this sense of intuition guiding this person towards things that they're going to want to experiment with. But this person also could work like for Google Maps, or like whatever they're doing has something to do with maps, typography. I don't know why I said topography. Interesting. I don't know what that would mean. Like it has something to do with, I don't know, in elevations is coming forward. So maybe maybe they're a surveyor or they're doing something like that. That's really interesting. Maybe they're an architect and they work with a lot of blueprints and they're measuring things. There might also be a situation where they've had like an abrupt shift or change in their life where they've had to go in an entirely new direction. Warrior woman, have you answered your deepest calling? Yeah, okay, that's kind of where that energy was going. It's like their intuition told them they had to go in another direction at some point in their life, and they might have even been on pause for a long time. Like they started to figure out what their career would be way later in life. Maybe it's something that's very unconventional. This person could also be in law enforcement. They're in the military. They're a firefighter. They could be classified as a warrior. Maybe they're into MMA. Maybe they also like to play video games, and they like to play games where there's like a knight, or like there's something about being like the hero that is coming forward. Maybe they like to read okay, that was interesting. I wanted to say they like to read fiction that has to do with knights and like medieval period, but what started to come out was nonfiction. So that's also a possibility. Like they like learning about the Knights Templar or the Crusades. They're interested in things like that. Discovery, yes, they're like a lifelong learner. They're constantly discovering new things, and they're constantly shifting the way they see the world. They could be Gemini or have strong Gemini placements. They're probably going to be exposing you to a lot of new things. They might be constantly reading or watching different videos on social media, and they're like, did you hear about this? Or have you read this book? Or have you listened to this piece of music? I think that they're going to make life really interesting for you. And I think that they're going to help you to discover new things about yourself. They might point out certain things about your personality or little quirks about you that they love that you had always felt sort of insecure about. Called soul gifts training. It's time to step up. This person is definitely listened to their intuition, possibly to relocate, or there's a doorway that they went through that they were literally called to walk through. And there is no rational reason for that. They just know. They could be a very spiritual person as well. Explore. This is crazy. This person might have traveled a lot. They spent a large part of their life living in another country, possibly at a distance, where they felt like they were different or they were alien in some way, like either they were completely different than the local population, or they thought about things in a different way, like they started working at a company and their job was something completely new and they were bringing in all of these new innovative ideas. I do think that they might be involved in technology or science. There's possibly connected to astronomy or something to do with even travel and shipping, something to do with great distances. There is strongly a military energy that's coming through here, though. Even being a pilot with the sort of alien energy. It says goblin, but it's reading alien to me. Okay, the ring. So this is a person who is likely going to know that they want to get married and that they're looking for that person. With this coming out under the cartographer card, like they're looking for their forever person. They might, and like the energy here with him holding up this gold, the hand coming out with the ring, they might start talking to you about marriage pretty early on. Now, I don't mean early on as in you've been dating for 3 months and they're asking to move in and they want to get married. That's actually a red flag. But I don't think that you're ever going to have to sort of drag this person to the altar if this is something that you want to do. Like, this feels to me like someone who's very decisive. I know that this is my person, and now I'm going to take action on this. I'm not going to wait for this person to slip through my fingers. We have connected. We have a good energy together. We've dated for a year. We've dated for a year and a half. Now let's get engaged, spend a year engaged, and, within 2 years, you're married. That's the energy that's coming forward. They might also like to give gifts. That might be, one of the ways they express affection and desire. This might be a person who actually likes to wear a lot of jewelry, or they I don't know, they could even be a designer, because the jewelry could be a placeholder for anything physical. So going back to this cartographer, they're an industrial designer. They're doing something with, product design and development. Okay, let's get some cards that reveal what this person looks like. What does pile number 3's soulmate, long-term partner, future husband or wife look like? What does pile number 3's soulmate look like? What does pile number 3's soulmate look like? Okay. So the first card is Parvati. So this person's heritage might be Indian. Their background and family might be from India. Excuse me. This might be a person who has very soft, sort of angelic features. They might have a really beautiful mouth. There's this sense of like a Cupid's bow mouth where it's sort of like rounded. The top lip is sort of rounded and very curved. They might have beautiful eyes that are either like a soft brown or an amber color. They might have like soft melanated skin where it's like they are like, their skin tone is more light brown. They might have dark hair. There's this sense of like really beautiful hands. They might get manicures done. They might wear a headscarf or cover their hair or their head in some way. That could be a scarf. It could be a hat. Mnemosyne, the past. This person could be someone that's coming back from the past, or you're going to feel like you've known them before. They could have darkly melanated skin. Once again, there's like this head covering. And strong jewelry here. That came forward as well before. This is a person who might do really interesting things with their hair as well. Like there's all kinds of like ribbons, and there's feathers, and there's sort of like gold ties in Mnemosyne's hair. So they might like to experiment. They might have tattoos. They might do interesting things with their makeup, playing with different colors, or, you know, just keeping up with the latest trends is kind of the sense that I'm getting. Very experimental. Lots of color is what's coming forward as well. Serena Williams. This person is likely very physically fit, very active. Once again, with like the beautiful melanated skin. This person might have a very athletic body type. They might also have like a very, this isn't a physical characteristic, but it does influence how they would come across. They might have very charged energy. So they're very dynamic. They're very, maybe even like Aryan. They just come in like this warrior. And even if they aren't saying or doing a lot, it still has this sort of ferocity and this power. So when they walk into a room, like they walk in like a boss. They command the room. They take charge. This person definitely has a peaceful side to them as well, though. Calvin Klein, they definitely like fashion. They like fashion. They like looking good. They like looking like the best person in the room. And I don't mean they're better than other people. They like being the best dressed person in the room. But I don't get the sense that they're shallow or egoic. They might have been in the past. This might be something that's a shadow element that they need to, or they have been working through. There is this energy of they like the finer things. They like nice things. They are a very devoted person, though. Like, they're very loyal, and they might be very loyal to certain things that they like. Like, they have certain brands that they like to wear, or certain colors that they wear. They wear their hair in a certain way. There's strongly dark hair that's coming forward, but there might be light brown or even gray hair. This person might even be older than you. Naomi Klein. They could have blonde hair. They might also have to wear sort of business casual, or they work in an office. So there's this sense of like, yes, they love fashion and they love to be experimental and sort of out there. But when they're at work, they have to wear things that are maybe more corporate, more traditional, more like the way that they would describe it is more basic is kind of the energy that's coming forward. They might even work in finance, and that's partially why, and maybe they have to wear a suit. Maybe they have a career where they have to go to black tie events though, so they have to dress up, or maybe it's not as extreme as a black tie event, but there are times when they have to show up. And I just heard on camera. So this might be a person who is a celebrity, but there's lots of people that have to show up on camera. Maybe they're they work for a newsroom and they're like a news broadcaster, or they're connected to reporting in some way. They're an anchor in some way. This might be a situation where they were on camera for a series of videos because they work for a company and they were explaining something, or they've been interviewed by different places. I don't know. That's interesting, but they have been on camera. That won't resonate for all of you though. Okay, so with that said, let's get some more details about what they do for a living. And I just got another channeled message, something about them having nice shoes, or shoes are important to them. Like they like shoes, like, or the shoes make the outfit, or maybe they're a sneakerhead or something. Okay, what does pile number 3's future spouse, soulmate do for a living? What does pile number 3's future spouse, soulmate, long-term partner do for a living? What does pile number 3's future spouse, long-term partner, soulmate do for a living? Okay, so freedom. They likely run their own business or they're a contract employee. Body work. They could be a massage therapist. They could be a chiropractor. They could be a tattoo artist. They could be like working in Reiki healing, or they are working for a spa. There's something about, they're a nutritionist. They're a kinesiologist, they're a yoga instructor, they're doing some like physical fitness in some way, they do rehab with people, they could even be a personal support worker and they're helping people that have physical limitations. There's something about the body. I mean, they could be a doctor, they could be a scientist that's studying the body. They could be a teacher and they're teaching something that's related to the body. But there is this sense of they have freedom to do what they want, and maybe that's where things really shifted for them, because they do have this wanderlust energy where they like to like move around and do different things. So freedom is a part of their job, and that's important to them, and whatever they're doing is connected to like the card here says massage therapy, energy healing, physical therapy, exercise training, but literally anything that's related to the body could be their job. But let's get some more cards and find out what other careers your future spouse, soulmate, long-term partner might have. What does their, okay. Vampires. So they could be working with people that are overcoming addictions or have had some sort of accident, lost energy, their life force is being drained in some way. They could have be involved in the medical field and they're helping people to feel better. There's this, like with the vampire card, it could go in a lot of different ways. They could also be working with people who have lost things and they are helping them to rebuild their lives. But there is something about working with people who have experienced pain, hardship, lost things, had trauma, and they're helping them to rebuild. Prince. Romantic charm and potential for power. So they're a very charismatic person. They do come in, there's this rescuer energy. So again, law enforcement, like chiropractors, physical therapists coming in, and like people have this sense of like, wow, this person just changed my life. Oh my God, the Messiah. Wow, okay. So they're definitely doing humanitarian healing work of some kind. And they have a lot of charisma and a lot of power to heal and help and support. And martyr, yeah, they could be a social worker working in addictions and mental health, and they just help liberate people and help them to see things in a new way. They are working as a dietitian and they're helping people with, you know, perfecting their meal plan so they don't have to deal with whatever the health restrictions are that's been crippling them. They're helping people, they're a free agent in some way. It's related to the body, and they have a lot of very loyal clients or people that just really resonate with their work and see them as a real gift. All right, so now let's get some more cards that's that are going to tell me about how this person makes you feel, pile number 3. How will pile number 3 feel when they're with this person? Okay. So the first card that you received is Metamorphosis. This is going to be a real transformative relationship for you. There are things that maybe you've suffered with. You might actually end up meeting this person through their work. You might have had some issues with your physical body, health, well-being, possibly addictions, maybe depression, maybe even fertility issues. And you're not necessarily expecting to meet this person, and you do because they're part of your healing team. Or this might be a person that really helps you to heal from some of those things from the past, like anything that you've been hanging on to and had a hard time disconnecting from. And you've got the Detachment card. There have been some painful experiences that they're going to help you to let go of, possibly some illusions about your worthiness. You might have been feeling like you're unworthy, and they're going to liberate you from those or help you to see things through a different lens so you have a different narrative. Journey. You guys are going to travel together. You're going to feel like you're transforming, and there are new exciting things to experience. They're going to keep you on your toes. You're going to feel like there is so much to build with this person, and there's so much to talk about. Purity. You're going to feel really in tune with your inner child, like you can shine. There's possibly feelings of expression, creativity that you forgot you even had because you haven't connected with them since you were a kid. And all of that is going to come back flooding in. And there's just this sense of like real wonderment and excitement and things being playful. And chamomile, inner peace. You're going to feel at ease. You're going to feel like you're safe with this person. And I think that your masculine energy, and it doesn't matter how you identify, but your masculine energy might have a blockage. You're feeling like you can go after the things that you want. That's going to be healed with this person. And you're going to be feeling more at peace, but also more confident than ever before. So now let's find out some of the challenges that you might face with your future soulmate, long-term partner, husband, wife. What are some of the challenges that pile number 3 is going to face with this person? What are some of the challenges that pile number 3 is going to face with their future partner? Okay, mistake, detachment, unsatisfied, habits. So the two of you have some habits from the past that are sort of auto-programming. You haven't detached and healed from them completely yet because I don't think that you even see that they're there. This could be self-limiting beliefs where you're perceiving that you're making mistakes, and that's leading you to feel sort of detached even from your physical body. Or there might have been mistakes you made in the past that made you feel detached from your physical body or your experience. But through your interaction with this person, you're going to realize that these are habits that are keeping you stuck and feeling unsatisfied. But in order to actually recognize those, you're going to be triggered. This is going to be a little bit uncomfortable because I think that you might think that these are core aspects of your personality, and they're likely to feel the same way, that they're that these things that are coming out of them are core personality traits. And each of you might feel unsatisfied with yourselves, and you're just going to have to be very nurturing with each other. The overall sense I get from this is that you're not necessarily going to turn against each other. You're going to turn against yourself. And that unconditional love that each of you offer the other is going to get you through this. Okay, so now let's find out whether you have met this person already. So has pile number 3 already met this person? Okay, wow. That like flew out, that 9 of coins. So for those of you where this resonates, I feel like this person might be someone that you met when you were happily single. We've got 9 of coins, we've got the Knight of coins, the Emperor, the World, and the 10 of Wands. So some of you have already met this person, and this might even be your partner right now, because the Emperor can be talking about like a father figure or a husband. The World card has this figure in the middle with all of the, like this woman with all of these children. That could be a wife and mother. The sense that I get is that the two of you met when you were at different stages of your life. One of you was happily single and like just looking for growth, possibly in career and other aspects of your life. The other person was maybe just starting out on their career, and this person is established and this person isn't entirely established. And you went in different directions as a result of this, or there was challenges in the relationship because of the like lack of balance or the perceived lack of balance. I didn't do this for the other piles, but I really would like to get a little clarification on the 10 of Wands. Yes, okay, so the 5 of Swords. You likely separated, like right person, wrong time kind of energy. And this person might have come back and you're like with this person right now. Like it was like you had a break, like you dated and then you split up and you went and traveled and you did your own thing. And then you ran into them at a party and you ended up getting married and staying together. But you'll know if this is your story. There is this sense of it wasn't working because maybe it was too much work to be in a relationship, or maybe the one or both of you wanted too much from the other. There was this sense of, okay, I just got the word selfish. So, I mean, we all can be selfish in relationships and definitely can be selfish at different points of our lives. There was a lack of communication, this sense of like one-upping each other, one person wanting to be right at all costs. And if you were really loyal to me, you would agree with me. And the two of you split up as a result of that. But obviously, this is your person. So either you're with them right now and you're laughing because this sounds exactly like what happened with you, or you're waiting to reconnect with this person. So for those of you who have not met this person, you have no idea who they are, how are you going to meet them? How is pile number 3 going to meet their future spouse, long-term partner, soulmate? Wow, you got a ton of cards. Let's see. Okay, so coins. Money will be coming to you. There's this big energy of money in your connection. So maybe you meet them through work, or you're both finally very financially stable. Dog, getting together with friends. So you're likely to meet them when you're out with other people that you know. Maybe they are one of your friends and all of a sudden there's a transformation. Maybe you meet them when you're out walking your dogs, or they're walking their dog and there's, you know, some exchange that happens. Maybe there's like, you meet them while you're out spending money. Plenty of material things. That would also make me think that you might be spending some money out with friends when you meet them. Hidden secrets can harm you. So that's interesting. You might be out doing something that you're not supposed to be, or they are secretly attracted to you. Like there is a friend, or maybe you're secretly attracted to one of your friends and you love hanging out with them, but neither of you realize that you both have this great passion for each other. Or when you first meet, it's going to be a secret. Maybe you don't see them, they see you. Clouds, temporary problem. This also makes me think that there's some sort of illusion or something you're not seeing right away, and then all of a sudden everything becomes clear and you realize who this person is, and the two of you get together. Bird flying, news is on the way. This might be a situation where you meet, you connect, but you don't realize that you like each other, and then they message you later. They slide into your DMs or something. But there's a connection with spending money, being around friends, not necessarily connecting right away, really being attracted to them, and then reconnecting later on. So now let me get some final guidance for you guys. What guidance does Spirit have for you about what you need to do or know so that you can connect with this person? All right. 1001, spiritual awakening, new beginning, personal development, prioritizing creativity and heading in the right direction. A new phase in a religious or spiritual quest. You're going through a spiritual awakening, which can feel like the dark night of the soul. You're on the path to enlightenment. This too shall pass. That's interesting because this card came out before. So you're going to be going through a transformational experience. This is likely someone who isn't, at this particular point in time, your type. Like this, I might have gone through all of this and you're like, I don't know about this person. You will want, and that might be the temporary problem in the hidden secrets and the illusions that are coming forward. You don't see what a good thing this is until maybe it's gone and then you reconnect, right? News is on the way, someone's circling back around. You're definitely headed in the right direction. 0550, the eye candy, intuition, inspired action, beauty, art, socializing, flow, potential romance. Get some fresh air or call some of your pals over. Take a look around you. There's so much natural beauty waiting to be discovered. Either you will soon become involved in an exciting new project, or you will go out on a date. Put your charisma to use everywhere. Spread your charm around. Get out. Start dating people. Start meeting people. Start dating. Obviously, go after the people that you're attracted to. Don't hold back. Don't feel like, oh my God, that person is so hot, but I don't have the confidence to go over and talk to them. Just make eye contact with them. Smile. Like, work on also practicing flirting and connecting with people. Just be friendly and bubbly or joyful or engaging with everyone, right? Like you can be friendly and sort of like flirty with literally everyone around you. It's a great way of practicing that skill. There's this sense of you, and I just heard you in the spotlight. So maybe this person is going to like feel like you're illuminated in the room, like there's no one else there but you. They're definitely going to feel like you're their type. I'm not sure that you feel like they're your type, but you might feel like they're so your type that it's actually intimidating and you feel like you wouldn't have a shot with them. I want to get one final card, actually. What other advice do you have for pile number 3? The big break, 1515, innovation, focus, creation, progress, forward movement, skills and goals. An opportunity, help, extra cash, or other support is coming your way. So keep going and have fun when performing your task. The most tremendous success comes from passion. All efforts will be rewarded big time. go and explore and do things that you love, because it looks like the person that you're meant to connect with also loves the same things that you do. And that's likely how you're going to meet them. But you have to go out of your way to try and gather new skills and things that you love. Like the key is fun. Like tremendous success comes from doing things that you find rewarding and fun. And especially if there's things that you find a little bit challenging. This person does seem to like a challenge. They might really like that about you. If you not necessarily are playing hard to get, maybe you are literally hard to get, and they're going to enjoy winning you over, is the sense I get. So that concludes your reading, my friend. I hope that you enjoyed it. I would love to know your thoughts if you want to share in the comments section. This has been such a fun reading to do. If you guys have other suggestions on readings you would like to see, pop those in the comments section as well. And as I mentioned, I do private readings. So if you're interested in knowing more about your person, or you have questions about anything else in your life, go to my website, odessamall.com, and you can book a session with me there. And thank you so much for all of the love and support. Everyone has been so wonderful, especially with my return to regular posting. If you enjoyed the reading and you're not part of the family, I hope you'll consider subscribing to the channel. And I am sending you all so much love. I hope you have a wonderful day or night, and I look forward to reading for you again in the future. Take care.